Check one, check two. I was going to say that. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for responding. Happy to see you all today. I just want to welcome you guys to the second annual Black History Month Symposium. I'm saying it's okay to give me a couple claps for that. Second annual. You know, my name is Jared McClain, and I will be your host for today. I will be introducing some great, lovely students, leaders, awesome people, however you want to call them, This is awesome because it's really a great time that we get to reflect in all of our lives, what does Black history mean to us? And honestly, I think this time allows us, anybody on a more, because I got a little sister, so the hot combs definitely stand out for me. But yeah, I immediately had to think for myself, like, man, what is the Black community? How can I really be inspired by, leaders in my life? And, before I get too deep into it, as we have these discussions, we all will be discussing and talking about what does leadership mean to us. And like I said, I went immediately to my community. And as immediately, I mean Black people immediately, Black people timing. If you don't know what that means, it's pretty much we be late to little stuff, Dang, y'all really don't know. It's okay. Don't worry. I'm gonna teach y'all some stuff today. But don't worry. When I think about really what the community needs, I was talking to a couple people, and they let me know how, man, we've heard some of these same messages before, and if you don't know history, you're doomed to repeat it, And it's super important that we understand that because history is always happening. History is always being made. And, like I said, when I talk about history being made, I like to talk about the Black women in my life, the women who are encouraging me to keep going, keep doing great things in my life. And honestly, I can't forget about them. But, I would talk about my dad, how he inspired confidence in my life, but that probably wouldn't get me too much kudos here because, I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna go there with y'all. But no. It's super awesome, though, because with these messages, there's always something new to learn. As we grow and mature in our lives, there's always something new to get from it. And just to share a little light on some great leaders right now, I want to point over here to these two content creators that I have. Their names are Gideon and Kai Cenat. And why they're super awesome is because they're two amazing young Black men. Excuse me. And with what they're doing, they're actually making history right now. Gideon, as you can see, he was actually at an NBA game, and something that he's really known for is just going out to crazy places and just making himself known. And it's funny because he calls himself DeMarcus Cousins III. If you don't know, DeMarcus Cousins is the NBA player to the left of him. But Kai Cenat is also another content creator that has done great things. As YouTube is it's always grown. It's always been growing since I was little. But he's actually been able to show that he's been the streamer of the year 2 times in a row. And these guys are awesome. These guys are funny. They've been able to, as you can see, connect with great people. Kai Cenat was actually on the news. It wasn't his fault, but a lot of people came through New York and actually they almost thought it was like a riot. But it was honestly because him and Lil Uzi Vert. Does anybody know who Lil Uzi Vert is? Yeah, they made a song. They had a music video. It was crazy. It was turned. But yeah, it was super awesome. But the reason why I bring up these two is not just because of who they are. It's how they relate to me. And this is what I truly believe leadership is. I believe both of these young men right here, they show great qualities of what leaders are. They're bold and they're confident. And I think that's something that's really to be admired. And really, some of you may know me already. I go through campus. I be telling, hey, y'all should come study the Bible with me. Y'all should learn a little bit more about God. And I actually helped start a club here called Agape. It's a Christian club. It's called Agape. Has anybody ever heard of that word before? Agape? Awesome. It's one of the most, familial loves that you can think of because, in our language, there's so many words for different things, but sometimes it's very simple. But in the Greek, it's actually used in a couple different ways. And agape is the one that we try to inspire around campus, which is a familial love. And again, as I bring that up, these guys on the biggest stages of their lives, they have recognized God and they have said that God was their reason for what they do, why they do. Kai Cenat, as he was one streamer of the year, you guys may have heard of this phrase. He said him and this guy that he met in Japan, I believe, his name is Ray. He was like, God did, God did. They was like, who did it? God did. Dang, y'all must not hear that. Okay, we gotta get y'all into some social media. No worries though. But also with Jadeon, it's actually super interesting with him. He had his whole his whole content channel, and these guys make a lot of money. And what's super awesome, Jadeon, because of where he's just grown maturity-wise, he's actually given up his YouTube channel, all the things that he makes from it, and he actually privated all his videos, so he no longer makes money from those videos that he used to make. And I just think that's super awesome because, you really, with those two, like Cenat, him telling people, hey man, God is awesome, believe in God, you would think you would get a lot of flack for it. But honestly, all it has is allowed him to reach new and more heights. The same for both of them. So really what I want to ask you guys is, both of them are leaders, right? But why did I highlight both of them? One gave up everything while the other shines their light through the success they are reaching. So I want to ask you guys today, to be a leader, do you have to give up what you think you know to grow? Or can you grow by staying the same and allowing the world to adapt to you? And with that being said, that's as much as I got to say. Enough yapping from me. I'm going to let some great speakers come up next. And thank you guys for letting me speak.
Good morning, Triton College.
Good morning.
Thank you guys for responding. All right. So my name is Imani Zene Porti. I will be receiving my Associates of Arts degree of May of 2024. Thank you. All right. And I plan to attend a four-year university in the fall, majoring in business administration and with a minor of entrepreneurship. Thank you. All right. Okay, let me tell you this. Let me take you down a little brief of a Black history lesson about how leadership has been instilled in me since birth. My parents has always taught me at an early age to never walk in anyone's shadows, but to be the light that everyone guides the way for. My sister and I was always taught to recite this daily. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I will show love and great examples to others and to myself. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray. Amen. My sister and I have similar middle names to my mom's first name. Her name is Renee. My parents named my sister Jasmine Tene, while my name is Imani Zene. My sister named me, had the privilege to name me. We similar have both names to my mom, but different, and allow my sister to walk in her own light and her own shadows. Not only this has begun to instill in us, but this shall show us the difference between walking in somebody's shadows and being the light to different people. All right. My sister and I we always wonder what good leaders are examples, and what a good leader. My sister, Jasmine Tene Porti Haywood, is the greatest example of when hard work and determination is reaching her dreams. She is a role model not only to her students. She is not only a role model to me, but to each student who walks across her pathway. Jasmine's motto is, I will change the world one day, one student at a time. Jasmine is a first grade teacher in Inglewood, which is known as the roughest neighborhood in the city of Chicago. Not only does she teach curriculum, but she established a care corner in every in her classroom, which is like a small store. Everything is free to the needs of the parents and students. She also makes sure that the students have a coat, boots, gloves, and hat, and a scarf to stay warm. She stays after school to provide additional help for each student who is below grade level. Each year at Christmas, Jasmine buys a toy for each child, and be able to experience the joy of receiving something special for them. Black History Month is something special to my sister because she always dressed up as a different character each day to show the richnesses of our heritage. I can go on and on about how she's living in Philippians 4:13. Jasmine Tanae Porti Haywood is what a good leader looks like in Black history. I sure hope to be able to change the world in my own way.
Good morning, Triton students.
Good morning.
My name is Deshaun Johnson. I'm studying in GED, and I'm in Triton Service for the program. I have a quick question to ask everyone. Has anyone seen the show Static Shock? What do you like about Static Shock? I did that. I'm about to share my favorite part about Static Shock. My favorite part about Static Shock is that fact one of my favorite voice actors is in it. Phil Namor is one of the best voice actors from a lot of characters he done in his career, from Samurai Jack to Static Shock. Static Shock shares a lot of important information and not finessings. He showed us how to deal with racist people and to stay away from harmful reference that could potentially harm others. Samurai Jack, he teaches us the weight of responsibility, how to live freely, and also remind us to be mindful of each other and to look out for others. This is why Phil Namor is one of the best voice actors and my hero and a big inspiration to me. Another hero I want to point out is, I look up to Fred Henson. Does anyone know who Fred Henson was? Cool. So I'm about to share, Fred Henson is my hero because of the fact he wasn't a violent person. As we stand here today in this school and we live in the suburbs, he's brought up in Maywood several times. He attended Triton College at a young age. Fred Henson was the chairman of the Black Panther Party, also former the city of Chicago's first Rainbow Coalition. I would like to read you this quote about Fred Henson about revolution. I might be anywhere, but when I need you will know, I say with the next words on my lips that I am a revolutionary. And you have to keep saying that I am a poet. I am the people. Fred wanted to change Chicago because of of the racism among our brothers and sisters. So I want to say this to everyone. Both Fred and Phil Namor are inspirational leaders to me. They had different careers, but they each continue to Black history in profound ways. Thank you, everyone, for coming out to celebrate this important Black history celebration for our leaders. Thank you.
Hello, Triton College students. Can y'all hear me? Good? Okay, good. Hi, my name is Angel. My name is Angel Stackhouse, I'm sorry. I am currently working on getting my associate's degree in science, and I plan on graduating this fall of 2024. I do, thank you. And I do plan on going to a four-year university after. A few weeks ago, I was asked to give a speech about someone who I thought would represent Black history. The person who immediately came to mind was someone who I hold very near and dear to my heart. a person who truly inspires me and demonstrates selflessness on the daily. And that person is no other than my mom, Sherry Jones. Growing up, there was always teachable moments. That I had with my mom. Although I didn't really understand at the time until I got older, I finally understood that she was basically getting me and my siblings ready and prepared for the real world. There was one lesson that always stood out to me. It was when she always told us to be our own man. That phrase has followed me my whole life. Sorry about that. The phrase made me realize that being a leader is the only thing that's the best thing for me, especially since we live in a society where people have such a hard time trying to find themselves in it. So I feel like she basically gave me like a head start to where I really need to be as a person. And on top of being a fantastic mother and grandmother, she also is a humanitarian. My mom has been a healthcare aide for a little bit over 20 years now. So she spends her days cooking and cleaning and spending quality time with her patients who are either elderly, sick, or physically disabled. Her career within itself basically shows how loving, selfless, and kind she is. My mom is one of the most compassionate people I know. I remember when I was younger, people will always come to her asking for either whether it was food, shelter, and or advice. She never turned them away. Even kids that was from around our neighborhood or kids that I went to school with, they will always come over by my house to either have a hot meal or just be in her presence, just to be at our house. And still to this day, she is still loved by so many years after we've been out of school. I am so grateful for the mother that I have. I am so honored that I was able to give a speech about her. And I thank God for putting her into my life because of how good she's been to me and others. And I can only pray that my future children get a chance to have the same experience with her that I did. And to me, she is the true example of Black excellence. And I can't begin to explain how appreciative I am to be going through this thing called life with her by my side to help lead and guide me through it. That's all. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Denasia Saffold. Can you all hear me? Okay. I'm a student here at Triton, seeking an acceptance into the ultrasound program and also gaining my degree in health science. Black history. Black history is defined as a time to honor the contributions, and legacies of African Americans across the U.S. history and society. But let's not limit it to that. Kindergarten, for some of us, kindergarten is the start of our journey through our history, or we learned it from our family and friends around us. As time moved forward, my definition of Black history has changed and grown into leadership. Black history is leadership because every last single person that we celebrate today has shown us exactly what leadership looks like. To me, a Black leader has a sense of belief, action, and courage. Belief. Belief is one trait that every Black history leader has shown us. For example, Martin Luther King. His I Have a Dream speech isn't just a well-written speech. It is a remarkable belief that empowered thousands of people across the nation. And some of his beliefs that he preached are embedded into today's society. But Black leaders don't just stop there. They also take action. Action. Action does not have to be as historical as Harriet Tubman conducting the Underground Railroad, or as legendary as the desegregation of Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas. It can be just as inspiring as refusing to give up your seat on a bus to a white man just because you are Black, like Rosa Parks. Yet, Rosa Parks did not know that by just refusing to give up her seat, that she would inspire a movement in our culture like never before. This shows behind every Black leader's action, there is courage. Courage. To me, courage is a foundational characteristic of a Black leader. First, African American to play in a major league baseball team like Jackie Robinson, which also was one of the bravest acts in sports history. With the segregation in Robinson's life and daily life and on the team, he kept his head high and strived to better society through sportsmanship, and he did just that. To conclude, Black history consists of Black leaders built with belief, action, and courage. Black history is not just a time to celebrate our fellow Black leaders, but it is also a time to be inspired and to teach our youth who we are and what we are capable of. To quote, "If you see something that is not fair, not right, not just, you have a moral obligation to do something about it." Thank you.
Hello. All right. Grand Rising, everyone. How's everyone feeling today? That's good. My name is Joshua Bonds, and I am acquiring my Associates in Arts for Electronic Music Production. And it's an honor and a pleasure to be standing before you all on this special day. I would like you all to think briefly when I ask, what is leadership to you? Does it come from actions, demonstrations, or does it look like a particular individual or monument we know? Leadership takes many forms. Sometimes it appears as collaborations. Other times, individual question or he embodies Black leadership. His name is Tyler Okonma, better known as Tyler the Creator. Driven music catalogs I have ever seen, going against the current of negativity, breaking the stereotype, and reviving a genre beyond the limitations set by traditional colonial ideologies. Transforming that negativity into 2 Grammys catapulted him into fame. Tyler has elevated self-confidence to a whole nother level, trusted his music to make an impact. Tyler trusted the process. He knew he was going to be one of the greatest, and he's actively pursuing that vision. His self-confidence is an essential characteristic of becoming a leader. Through his unique method of inspirational manifestation, he inspires me to accept the challenges of music production. Back in my sophomore year of high school, I was in my room, lying in my bed, wondering who I aspired to be like. My mental health was particularly vulnerable as I endured the frustrations of adolescence. Navigating the labyrinth of questions that would eventually define my identity. Thinking I was going to be lonely for the rest of my life, being so in my head that I couldn't think straight. My body felt the weight of depression consuming my radiant soul. Simply put, I was all alone. Suddenly, my bootleg Sony handheld boombox plays 911/Mr. Lonely. This song opened my mind to realize that I was not alone in feeling alone. And that music can be an exploration of one's emotion. Like Tyler, I want to grace the world with my music, but take more than my words. The music you are about to listen to is a product of mine. Thank you.
So the music that you're hearing, Joshua composed this music. And so that's why we wanted to share it today, especially on his birthday. But give it up for all of our leaders who so boldly came up here to speak their hearts and share their minds. This is us celebrating Black history. Please, if you didn't already, there is some programs that are listed right here on the brick wall that you can take, and there's a small QR code on the back that we would love to hear from you about your thoughts about this programming. And if you are a student and you are interested in wanting to share your thoughts on leadership, I am hopeful to do a leadership symposium in the fall. So please let us know, because we would love to hear from you as well. I want to give a special thanks to our two speech mentors, Mr. JP, which is Anthony Purnell here at Triton, and Mr. Brent Dance, also here at Triton. They so patiently and caringly worked with each of our students to make sure that their speeches were ready for you and so that they could have their confidence built. So thanks again to all of our students. Happy Black History Month. You did amazing. And thank you to everyone for coming. Have a great day.